Smooth is fast. How do athletes move with such explosive power, yet they look effortless and graceful? Is that a natural gift or is that something that we can train? The strongest ones in the gym are not the smoothest ones on the court. I have a client who could deadlift 300 pounds, can run a 5 yard acceleration extremely fast. But the second he had to change directions, he looked like a truck doing a 3 point turn. We fixed that though. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. Today, I'm going to break down the 3 qualities that separate stiff movers from fluid athletes. And then I'm going to follow that up with the specific exercises that train each one. The first trainable quality is going to be rhythm. So this is honestly one of the most important foundational qualities that every single athlete should be training. What is rhythm? It's going to be timing between kind of ground contacts with your feet. It's going to be the cadence at which you move and also the flow between that contraction relaxation cycle. So why does this matter? It's because fluid athletes are not thinking about each movement while they're on the court. They're just riding that wave. And they don't have to think about that. They're playing off instinct. So this is just a real world example of what I mean by rhythm. This is Carlos Alcaraz just in a practice session. And so I'm gonna play the video. You'll see he's just bouncing on his feet, being smooth, fluid. And then right there, he's able to accelerate really fast, a couple steps. But that's all created off of rhythm. I'm gonna show you exactly how to train rhythm in the gym that translates to the court. So you can look smooth and it looks effortless. If I had to pick one exercise to train rhythm, it's gonna be this one. The reason for that, I know it looks simple, but it just checks so many boxes. You know, it's cyclical. There is a timing component to it. I'm gonna play the video here for you once and then we'll talk through it. What I like to call it is these are split drops, rhythmic split drops. So one bounce in between, splitting the feet, and I'm just relaxing on the way down. So I think a common mistake people might make when they're doing this one is tensing up too much when they hit the ground. It doesn't allow their knee to bend. It doesn't allow the ankle to bend. But you'll notice here, I'm relaxed and I'm redirecting that force. So it's creating rhythm, it's creating force absorption and rate of force development all in one exercise. In short, rhythm is going to get you moving smooth and fluid. It's going to help keep those feet active and lively in between cuts. But rhythm alone, it will not help if you cannot handle the force when you need to stop into a cut and then reposition yourself. The second quality that we can actually train in the gym is force absorption. So what is that? You can kind of think of this as your braking system. Are you somebody who is an 18-wheeler and when you're trying to brake, it just takes a long time, you need a long run out? Or are you a Tesla? You could stop on a dime. The reason why this is an important quality is because your ability to change directions is all dependent upon how well you can absorb that force in the cut and redirect it out of it. All right, we have a side-by-side comparison here of the kettlebell elevated split squat. So the video on the left is demoing a slow and controlled tempo. The video on the right is demoing a fast tempo. So this video on the right is what's really going to train your ability to absorb force. It goes back into the concept. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's the same exercise, but the different intent creates a different adaptation. So drop a comment below if you notice anything else. The main thing I want to point out is just the speed of the movement here. I mean, I got probably 2.5 reps in on the right side before I even got 1 in on the left side. I'm gonna play it again. So that fast eccentric is very, very important. And I encourage you to think about a controlled relaxation into the bottom. That is the cue that really sticks with people to where you feel the tendon stretch, you feel the muscle stretch, and then it's like a rebound effect out of that bottom back into the other position. The reason I love that exercise is because just like exercise number 1 that trained rhythm, this checks a lot of boxes too. You know, one, it trains our abilities to absorb force at a fast rate, but also it's a single leg exercise. So we're getting some hip stability, some knee stability. And the more stable those joints are in a cut, well, then we're going to be able to redirect that force a lot more efficiently. And so this is actually what time under tension should look like when you're training athleticism in the gym. Now that you can absorb force, how do you explode out of it? This leads nicely into quality number 3 that we can train in the gym. It's rate of force development. So essentially that just means how fast can you produce force? if force absorption was our braking system, rate of force development, that's our gas. And so the reason why this is important is okay, cool. You were able to absorb that load in the cut, but how quickly can you reposition yourself on the court? And that's very important. It's those first 1 to maybe 3 steps that create a world of difference to where you can cover that entire court, no problem. And so I'm going to play this video of Federer. I think this point honestly demonstrates the concept perfectly. So I'm going to play it one time just so you can get a feel for it, and then we're going to talk through it. So here goes. Bam, that acceleration right there. And then he's back. And it's just an incredible point. So we're going to talk through it here. There's 2 things that I want you to notice. It's this first cut when he goes right here, boom, he's absorbing that load, and then he's getting out of it, and he covers the length of the court with that 3 steps right there. That's all he needed, 3 steps to cover essentially 75% of that court. So the next exercise to train this rate of force development is going to be the trap bar explosive deadlift, not just a regular deadlift. If you've been through strength training before, you've probably done trap bar deadlifts where it's slow on the way up, slow on the way down. This is much different. This trains your athleticism here. It trains your first 1 to 3 steps out of a cut. And so the reason why I chose this exercise is because it also has a force absorption quality that you're training with it. So it's checking multiple boxes at the same time. I love that because that way we're just really efficient with our time. Again, this goes into, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So let's get right into the video. All right, a couple things here I want to note before I play the video here. What I don't want you to do is yank that bar from the bottom. That creates a huge disruption in the timing of things. So I want you to think accelerating out of the bottom, getting faster and faster and faster until you reach that peak position. And then you're dropping down super quick and catching the bar before it hits the ground. So you'll notice here, accelerate up into that triple extension position. And then I'm shooting those hips back, absorbing the load through my hips before that bar reaches the ground. So now that you've trained each of these 1, 2, 3 qualities on their own, let's put it all together in an agility drill that looks exactly like your on-court movement. This is an agility drill that my tennis athletes love because it quite literally integrates all the qualities we just talked about. Rhythm, your ability to absorb force, the ability at which you're able to produce force at a fast rate. If you're on the court, you are 100% going through this movement pattern. So why not train it? The main thing I want you to look out for is this is also a great drill to be able to prep the feet into a cut, load the spring of your hips, and explode out of it. So I'm going to play it here. You'll see my hips changing levels. They drop down into the cut. That's me absorbing the load through the hips, and then I'm exploding out of it. So hopefully everything that we talked about made sense, and it gave you a better understanding of how to actually train for that adaptation you're looking for, not just what exercise to do with zero context. I want to hear from you though. So drop a comment below if 1, you have any questions on any exercise that we talked about, or 2, if you have another go-to drill exercise that you feel like has really boosted your sports performance, because I want to hear about it. And I want to start implementing it with my clients too. So other than that, we'll chat soon. Take care.